Tell me about yourself and the band.
Myself and my band?
Like, what's the history behind your band?
Okay, well, a long time ago, 19 years ago, I was born. No, I'm just kidding. But, my twin brother, which is my bassist, he is, like, it's convenient because we were always there to, like, jam. And one day I said, I want to pick up an instrument. I want to pick up the guitar because it was just there sitting, and we had a guitar just sitting around in the house for years, and it was untouched. I never wanted to do anything with it. I was into video games, that's what I was into. But, and one day I just wanted to play guitar. I'm not exactly sure my inspiration was. I think it was actually Guitar Hero or something like
Guitar
that.
Hero, playing all this game.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I told my mom I want to play guitar. So I think I was about in 8th grade. I don't know whatever age that is, maybe 14.
13.
13. Yeah. And so she told me, okay, Tyler, well, I'll pay for your lessons if you promise to take a year with me at least. And I'm glad she did that because I wanted to quit like halfway through the year, just because it takes patience to
learn play instruments.
You just want to be there. You see them. That's what I want to do while you're learning, and it's tough to get yourself to actually. And that's probably for anything. But anyway, and then Kevin, a month later, my twin brother, he sees me learning guitar and he wants to learn guitar also. And I told him, I was like, no, you're not learning the same instrument as me, no. And I had this really big issue for some reason with other people learning the same thing, or with Kevin doing the same thing as me because we're twins. And so and we're fraternal, but I never like him to do like the same thing as me, like wear the same clothes, or I wanted my own
identity, basically.
Yeah, and it was just still silly to say you can't learn that because but anyway. But I'm glad he did because there are not many bassists. I don't know much bassists, even now.
I know one actually.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Is he talented? Is he a great bassist? Because it's so hard to find good bassists where I live, at least. I mean, I'm sure they're out there.
I'm not sure we go to school though.
Yeah, but so Kevin started learning bass, and Kevin's amazing. And my drummer is actually my neighbor, and my best friend since like maybe 4th grade.
4th grade?
Yeah, 4th grade is when we really started. So we've known him for like 6 years at least. And then we went through all this trouble trying to get a second guitarist. I think we've had 3 overall. We finally landed with Alex, who is a little short Filipino dude. He can sing. He could sing. The problem with Alex is he didn't have much experience with guitar. And we were looking for a guitarist more than a singer. So it was something that ended up working out because we basically drilled him and made sure he was on his instrument and on his act. We were looking to improve everything at the time, but that's basically how it formed. It took us forever to find that guitarist. So. Oh, and our saxophone player, Matt, who's known since 3rd grade. He's just the most phenomenal saxophone player we'll ever find. He got us into jazz. And he is phenomenal. He played in the Rose Parade down in Pasadena. He's going to Boise State. I just love to brag about him because he's amazing. He's a phenomenal musician, and even more like he's just a great person. He plays alto. He plays they haven't learned all of them. He's a music major. So he's soprano. He plays clarinet. He can play a little piano, a little flute.
That's cool.
Great. Yeah.
I tried learning to play saxophone once. It turned out so well. I gave up.
I don't like the reeds. I used to play clarinet in 5th grade, and I can't do the reeds.
How do you guys come up with the name Revolt With Reason?
Oh my God.
Is it because you guys like rebellious or something? Or what?
We have a big hardcore scene where we live, which we were never hardcore, but pretty much all the major venues that we can play at, we go and we're playing with hardcore. We played with so many hardcore bands. We like to open because we felt like that's more natural, going from like a lighter music to harder music. Either way it's fine, but anyway. So we were looking for something that can kind of. I feel like we're being self-conscious of it. Like, we kind of want to fit in with the crowd or whatever, and but but we got it. And looking back, I would probably change it now, but it's definitely not. There's definitely some, there's even a more philosophical sense to the name of Revolt with Reason. And the first was Revolt Against Reason. Kevin, my brother, was just like, no, that's just not us at all, completely. And I was thought about it more. Yeah, you're completely right. It's not. I don't. It just sounded rebellious. Sounded like. I think it was just. I'm glad we changed it. I'm glad it wasn't Revolt Against Reason. But I think we should have went with something else. It was just the other options that we had at the time, which was my friend wanted us to be church as the band name because that's my last name, and I was just like, it came down to like those are our only two things that we came up with, and most of us were just not church. I didn't want it to be church, so we did that. We found it in like a textbook, English textbook. It was on a part of it was Revolt Against Reason, and so that's how that came. It was more of a we needed to get named fast because we wanted to move on, and I feel like we could have put more thought into the name.
At least you guys have a name.
Yeah, I guess so. We probably couldn't have gotten that far without a name. So, and that's one reason we just eventually decided with it. And there's a lot of things I like about it. It's just people don't see the with reason; they see the revolt.
Revolt and reason.
Right, yeah. You see the revolt, right?
Yeah.
Right away, but you have to see it with reason. And we're not like a hardcore band, so it's more appropriate than it sounds. But sometimes it doesn't sound appropriate for us.
Yeah. Tell me about your guys' first performance.
Oh my gosh.
When was it?
That's
Where
a good
was
question. It was at my brother's, Kevin's ex-girlfriend. They were going out at the time, and she was Mexican, and her mom was like, "Oh, my sister is." Her sister lived down in Mojave, which is 30 minutes away from Congo, and basically we went down to this church to play for this like talent show thing. We go there, there's all these, imagine just 5 white dudes and a whitewashed Filipino going down to this church in which there's all these Hispanic people speaking Spanish. Not one of them speaking English, I don't think. And it was just, you could think of the most awkward thing, and at a church too. You're playing a rock. I didn't know it was a church. Kevin, I didn't know it was. I didn't know. All we knew was like our first gig at the time, and so, but we went down. It was probably the most awkward gig you could have ever seen. They right before we went on, they were doing Spanish karaoke, so that was that. And
you guys tried.
I think it was good that we had like an awkward first gig because we couldn't do much worse the next time.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
So you guys are like all spread out now. How do you guys come back together?
We Kevin is down in Cal Poly San Luis Obispo right now. Matt is down in Boise working on saxophone and music. Alex is living where we live in the AV. He's going to junior college, and Andy is going to Riverside. And so that's one of the things is we're kind of like, well, we can't just end it. That wasn't an option. So we just decided we need to just do what we can when we can. We've been able to progress a little bit even from then. From being in college, we got merch, we have CDs, we have T-shirts, we have business cards, we got we recently played a show down in Long Beach with Swayze and with Scarlet Drive, and they're pretty big. They're big men. And so we're still able. It's slower probably than it would be if we were all there just working then, but at the same time, we feel obligated to go to college too, and we can get financially stable. The music industry is not exactly an easy, narrow, open gate. So,
what's the goal of the guys' band?
To eventually, it's to reach out really also, but it's as far as as far as success goes, we want to be as big as we can. But the goal would be, I mean, we're literally been best friends since we're. I've known Kevin since my whole life, and then we all have been best friends since we're third grade. So we can't think of anything we'd rather do with our lives, and also to reach out to people,
About what?
to help people. I mean, and also to offer our music to the world too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Not just for ourselves, is what I'm getting at. Not just to play, just because it's fun, or to get girls or anything.
Get girls.
I mean, that's a perk, but I'm just kidding.
Have girls in try to get to you?
Yeah, what happens? What can I say?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, we call our drummer Eye Candy Andy. Not because of his crazy ability to get girls, because he doesn't know. But just guys, it rhymes.
What about the other band members?
Alex is a hopeless romantic. Kevin is probably the most chivalrous guy you'll ever meet. And Matt is just, I think he's just shy. Or he's just busy playing saxophone all the time. And I'm like the one with the tangled love life.
What do you
Not
mean?
so much anymore. Oh, you know.
You don't want to say?
Where do you think the stories come from for the music?
Oh, that's where it comes from?
I mean, I don't go out and do it just for the stories, just for the
You
sake
wrote the
of
lyrics
writing.
though?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Now I know.
It just happens to be that way to where I can write the stories, so people can learn from me. They don't have to pull it up. They don't have to make other people go through it.
Okay. That's a bad question. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Impossible to say. I'm definitely playing music, yeah.
With the band or solo?
Oh, with anyone. Yeah, with the band, I'm sure. And these are my best friends, like I mentioned. I mean, I'll be jamming on them till with them, with them till the day I die. So, I mean, the band, whether the band is together or not, I don't see it being nearly as important as whether I'm playing. I'm still playing. Or I'm still.
What's the most embarrassing experience?
Ooh.
The fun thing.
What is? There was one show that I played. I was prescribed Adderall by my ADHD doctor or whatever. My doctor prescribed me Adderall, which is a drug for ADHD. It's a methamphetamine that generally makes people go crazy, but for me it didn't because of ADHD. And I was just up there. I just didn't know what to say. I felt like a robot, and it was probably the most awkward show I've ever in. Andy always teased me. I was like, hey, Tyler, no Adderall this time. And that was probably like the only time I'd taken it. It made me feel like a robot.
Where was it?
Adderall?
Yeah, where was this show?
Oh, this was at a place called Initiate Theater. It's a venue right in the AV in the Antelope Valley. And that was pretty embarrassing. Also, the church thing was just pretty embarrassing.
Name one thing that most people don't know about you. Could be anything.
One thing that most people don't, like a random thing.
Yeah, random fact. Something like that.
I shake weight. You heard it here first, folks. That's Sac State. And this is Helen. I'm Tyler. No, I'm just kidding.
Adios.